Welcome to another Fwoosh video review, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at Underground Toys' new 3 3/4 inch Doctor Who Amy Pond figure. This is Amy's first figure in the 3 3/4 inch line, and seeing as how she is certainly one of the more popular companions the series has ever seen, it's pretty exciting to get her in this line so early. And we're seeing her in a very episode-specific costume here, but we'll get to that more in just a minute. So why don't you sit back, I'm going to get this figure open, and we're going to see what this Amy Pond figure is all about. Thanks for tuning in. Here is Amy Pond outside of her packaging, and she looks pretty good. Let's see, this as I mentioned before, the costume that she's sporting here is a very episode-specific costume. I mean, there's a whole lot of black leather here. This comes from the Asylum of the Daleks episode, where in the beginning she was kind of working as a fashion model, basically, and she and Rory were having a rocky time in their relationship. They're on their way to divorce. But I like this outfit for her. Well, having a hard time getting her standing. There's the sweet spot. But to address that, let's see. The only accessory she comes with is the stand that all the figures in the wave come with, the same red Doctor Who stand. And I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that right now, because I have been having some issues keeping her standing without the stand. So that takes care of that. There, no more stress. So let's take a close-up of her, let's get a close-up of her head sculpt. I really like it. She's got that wide-eyed kind of surprised, like trying to process the information expression that she wore a lot, especially in the early episodes where she was featured with the 11th Doctor. I really like it. I think it captures the character pretty nicely. And the hair sculpt is good too. It's kind of convincing, and I like that it's not a bright, blinding orange, as many redheads are prone to get in action figure form. It's kind of like a reddish brown, and I think that works too. I like it. And again, I really like this costume for her too. Usually when I think of Amy Pond, in my mind I'm imagining basically this costume, which I guess could be considered her more iconic look from this 5-inch figure. And I like both of them. I mean, this is definitely more of a girl next door look, which is what Amy basically was. But I really kind of like the tough girl black leather look that we're getting with this figure. I think it's fun. Now, she does measure up nicely with the 11th Doctor in terms of scale. She's just slightly smaller than him, so they fit together pretty well. They look pretty good together. And let's get a look at her articulation breakdown. Let's see here. I'm going to free her from her stand here. So, her head, I mean, the hair prevents her head from moving somewhat. There's a swivel there, but the hair is a softer plastic, so it's not too bad. And she's got a pretty good range of motion in her arms. And there is a hinge there. There's a bicep swivel here that's, on mine it's kind of loose, but it's kind of interesting that she gets a bicep swivel, but the Doctors don't. I don't know what's up with that. And then of course there is the elbow hinge, which works pretty well, and a wrist swivel. Now her skirt does hinder her legs, the range of motion in her legs, quite a bit. So you're not getting a lot there, definitely nowhere close to a full 90 degrees. It is a tougher kind of rubber plastic used here. She's got hinge knees that have a pretty good range of motion, can actually get a full 90 degrees. And then I believe she has a ankle swivel. Yes, she does. She has an ankle swivel. They're kind of snug, but it's there. So that's what we get out of Amy in terms of articulation. Oh, and there's a waist swivel too. Look at that. I almost forgot about that one. I hadn't tested that one yet. So the bicep swivel thing is kind of curious. I'm really wondering why she gets it. And again, none of the Doctors I've seen so far have it. The 11th Doctor doesn't have it. The 10th, the 12th, none of them have it. So far in the wave, Amy is the only one to get that point of articulation. And that's a pretty important point of articulation, I think. So I'm happy to see it with her, but I'm disappointed to not see it with many of the other characters, because I think it is an important piece of articulation. So let's get a comparison of her with some other Amy Pond figures. So there's the one that we just saw. Here she is in her kissogram costume when the Doctor was first introduced to her. And then here she is as a little girl. So it's kind of neat seeing all these Amy figures together. Amy was a companion that I really liked very much at first, but as the seasons wore on, and I think it was the dynamic between her and Rory and the Doctor that kind of wore on me, so I got kind of bored and tired of her kind of quick. Well, not quick, but it definitely happened. So, I mean, I like getting Amy just as a solo figure here, and I like that there's no Rory figure yet, so I don't have to have that pairing in my mind all the time. I liked Amy best when it was just her and the Doctor running around and gallivanting. It was kind of fun. That's my favorite dynamic in terms of the 11th Doctor's companions, him and Amy. And I think I do prefer Amy to Clara too, but you know, we'll see how Clara turns out. So that is Amy Pond, the 3 3/4 inch Amy Pond. Let us know what you think about this figure by leaving a comment below. Check us out on our message boards. Check us out on social media too, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, etc. So yeah, go ahead and let us know what you think. And thanks for checking us out. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you very soon.